Hello, my love bugs. Once again, it is your girl, Lindy Love, here with another message from the divine. As I always say, today if you're hearing my voice, I ask that you harden not your heart, for I am just the messenger, and we are all here to witness and learn. Thank you guys for your likes, subscribes, shares, views, and memberships. Everything is greatly appreciated, my loves. Let's see what we got going on. Let's see what we got going on in the energy. Alright? I was going to like part the deck, look at them, shuffle. Holy Spirit say no, just start from the bottom and come on up. Okay, I guess that's what you have to do. If you hit rock bottom, you got to start from the bottom and make your way up. Alright, that's going to bring some truth and clarity to a situation, some justice. Maybe starseed energies are going to bring a balance to this earth. Okay, maybe starseed energies are going to bring a balance to this earth. They're receiving messages from the Galactic Federation. So I'm getting like true tarot readers, true oracles. The real, I'm hearing with a real Slim Shady, please stand up. So real energies are going to be able to stand out amongst the crowd. The old energies are going to be put in their places. You know how you have certain plants, certain industry plants, certain tarot readers who are wicked tarot readers out here. I'm feeling like the balance is going to happen where the messages that most tarot readers or oracles or people speaking out about future situations, channelers and everybody, I feel like we're receiving messages from the Galactic Federation with the Chariot to let the masses, to let people know that help is here. Okay, I feel like we are the star seeds and we can tell the truth. I'm hearing something about asteroids and like comets and all of that stuff that's falling from the skies is what I'm hearing. Maybe a lot of people are starting to see asteroids, a lot of comets, a lot of things falling from the sky, hearing a lot of strange noises. That's because the Galactic Federations are here. The motherships are here. The spaceships are here. That's the noises and horns you may hear. That loud, like thunder or loud cracking that they heard in like New York and all them states and all that stuff like that. And it was like, what's that? You know, there like, and then when you see outside and you look and you see clouds and then you see a bunch of lightning strikes, it's literally a spiritual war going on between the extraterrestrials. Okay, and they're having this war right above our firmament because the Galactic Federation is trying to free us. Okay, free us from this realm, free us from this 3D lie, free us from this metaverse. Okay, the sky and everything that you see is a projection screen. The things that fall down from the earth are not comets, they're more so satellites. Okay, they have the firmament. If you watch King Kong, you can see when they took him inside of that building and made him think that he was outside in the jungle until he threw something at the sky and then it broke that screen. That is like the firmament. Okay, the flat earth theory, the firmament. The earth is not round, you guys. All right, I want y'all to look up the firmament, look up the ice walls if you already don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm about to go ahead and get into it. Okay, I hear a lot of thunder and rumbling and stuff outside with no rain and no clouds. So like I said, they're above us fighting. Okay, and they play these things in the sky just like when they use the holograms to show dead people on stage, how they had Tupac at the BET Awards that year. They're using those holographic images to keep you distracted, to make you think that there are things coming from the sky, but it's kind of hard for them to break through the firmament. And these Galactic Federations, they're trying to get through the firmament in order to save us, but the only way that they can break through the firmament and for us to be saved is if we raise this vibration and balance out this energy on this earth. All the starseed energies are like sleeper agents. Okay, and now we're waking up, getting into our intuitive bags. A lot of people are going through ascension symptoms and really learning their gifts and learning about things. Okay, like it's cool to talk about love. It's not okay to be trapped in the karmic land. It's all right to know what's going on with these karmics, but we're already been told 87 different times that they are receiving karma. They're going through karma. So we don't need to focus on that. We need to focus on the learning. Okay, with the learning comes healing is what I'm hearing. We had a lot of extraterrestrials come down to this earth and talk to presidents like President Eisenhower and stuff like that and try to tell them to leave these nuclear wars alone. And now you hear about these reptilians, these kings of the earth. Okay, because I did see the King of Pentacles. These kings of the earth who cause these illusions, who try to cause illusions about star seeds, maybe have y'all looking at the wrong people for star seeds, for information. Okay, because they knew that we were here. Maybe they tried different options and things to try to get victory over us, to get rid of us, to try to take us out, and now we are speaking the truth. But these kings of the earth, they're all talking about golden domes around the countries and having clear domes to block the missiles. That's because there's a galactic war. They're up there fighting against the Galactic Federation and they're losing. Okay, a lot of times when you see things fall from the sky, those are actually satellites that were hooked up to the firmament to make it look a certain way. What they taught you about gravity is a lie. Most of the things that are in the sky are hanging from like invisible strings, or they are part of this hologram. Okay, the illusionists, the illusions, the magicians of this world, the mages, okay, they're all upset now because starseed energies are exposing their tricks. I heard all the world's a stage. Okay, y'all already know these people play in our face. When it came to the flooding that went on in Texas, they played in your face. Because if you looked it up, all of a sudden all the levees were malfunctioning. There was no rain, but all of a sudden a flood came out of nowhere. What happened in New Orleans with them damn levees during Katrina? Do your research. I heard use your brain and do your research, and that'll help balance your energy out. Stop listening to the media and being fed. What is that? Fear mongering. The media is there to fear monger. Okay? I heard a couple of people speak on having dreams about asteroids, and I'm gonna just tell you, I asked the Holy Spirit about that, and basically I was told that is basically your spidey senses going off to let you know that something is going to occur, and people are not going to be ready for it. But you are the star seed, you are the earth angel that is going to be ready for this. You are going to have to speak. You are going to have to be Moses and help people in this certain situation. So speak your truth. Speak about what it is that you're dreaming about. Write down those dreams. That asteroid is your feelings. That asteroid is your spidey senses. Okay. An asteroid, and then it's like a bunch of dead bodies and fire and all that stuff like that. It's because they're fighting, but that asteroid is actually good energy. That is the common sense. That is Christ coming back to this earth for you to understand that a lot of things are going to happen, and it is going to be some sort of flooding off the coast of California. There is going to be flooding off the coast of California. You're going to see a lot of hurricanes and things forming over that way pretty soon. At least that's what they're trying to do with the weather modifiers or whatever, trying to cause an illusion. They may try to drown out California, because you know California technically was never a part of we're gonna call it the United States. Never a part of the United States. Okay, never a part of America for real. They pushed that. It's a picture of boats pulling California as an island. It was an island pulling California closer to the United States. Okay, but anyway, we'll see how all that plays out. Just do your research. Okay. So the star seeds are now fighting against and speaking out against the illusions, all these fake ass elections, these fake beefs between these powerful people, the kings of the earth, all this weird stuff to keep you distracted, court cases and all of that stuff to keep you distracted. The Galactic Federation, like I said, is winning. They're winning this fight, and these people, or these other extraterrestrials, these custodians, these reptilians, these Anunnaki, who have came down here and basically took Earth's resources until there were no more. They're panicking because they can't get their way. Like I told y'all, and I always talk about with the year of Jubilee, shit ain't going these people's way. Yeah, these kings of the earth, shit ain't going these people's way. And whoever they were paying to be these fake spiritualists are now being exposed. Okay, a lot of people are gonna get exposed. Yeah, I was supposed to send out that message. I don't know who that message was for, but a lot of people are supposed to be exposed. Let's go ahead. Y'all are supposed to be moving off the common water, so make sure you do your research. That is the only thing that is going to balance out your life right now. It's not gossip. It's not bullshit. Okay, it is pulling in love energy, but also learning. A lot of extraterrestrial beings that came to this earth, they preach you need to learn, you need to raise the vibration of your planet, and in order to do so, you have to get knowledge of what's really going on around you and stop these illusions that they have. They kind of fog your brain with all these illusions and you don't know the truth. Learn the truth. Okay, what we got going on? That whole rant I just had. What's going on? Good news is coming to help y'all move off the common waters from these galactic federations. They're winning. Okay, actual soul tribe. A lot of people have been getting readings on they're going to meet an actual soul tribe, and you're going to meet who you ancestors. Outside of the ice walls, if you don't know anything about the ice walls, look up the ice walls. Outside of the ice walls, there is an ancestral land, and the ancestors are able to come back through this land, through the rainbows. You may have seen inverted rainbows. That is the astral realm, and they are traveling from the ancestral lands back here. Remember I told y'all they had a lot of sicknesses and diseases that particularly targeted older people, so older people can't tell you the truth, can't tell you how the world really was. It was an older gentleman gentleman, I was watching a video, and this older gentleman was telling a story about how he knew that he had ancestors that walked from Africa to Mexico to the United States, and they don't want you to know that you can do that. We have a lot of people who are on the borders. Why they trying to lock down the borders? It's not because of the Mexican people. It's because people from India are walking from India to the border in Mexico to the United States. And if they come here and you ask them how did they get here, they will tell you they walked. It is not a lie. They're not crazy. It is the truth. The lie is what we were taught in school. The lie is the illusions that these people put out. Okay, that's why some of us who got children in school now, they doing work so damn different, because they don't want us spreading the knowledge that we learned in school. Okay, it's a lot going on. All right, these kings of the earth and these dark high priestesses worked very hard against the truth coming out. Now they're fighting for the throne. Someone's fighting for their throne. Maybe they feel like they're fighting for their place in life or their place on this earth. They wanted to inhabit this earth. They wanted to suck the resources dry. They're not able to. I'm also hearing a rocky, hot terrain. Make sure you watch out for people telling you about temperatures and saying that, oh, you know, it's not advised to go outside. Older people should stay inside. Younger people should stay inside because it's really hot. They're basically putting out all kind of alarms and all kind of bullshit just to get y'all to stay into the house so that you don't see what's going on outside. The Galactic Federation and the angels, the archangels, they are breaking through the firmament. So a lot of things are malfunctioning. Okay, a lot of fights are happening. A lot of these, what they call them, UAPs, but UFOs are falling out of the skies now because they're in war. They don't want you to know that they're having a war. Okay, that's why they're trying to get all that money and take all this money back from taxes and stuff. Or charge extra taxes on stuff. A lot of y'all saying, oh, that's so the rich can stay rich. No, that's so these damn reptilians and stuff can stay on the planet. Okay, we got prime minister out here. We got a prime minister that could possibly be upset. A lot of wrath going on, okay, from these prime ministers, people, leaders, like I said, the kings of the earth. That's what they call themselves, fighting for their position. They feel betrayed. They feel like they're being defeated. They need protection. They don't have protection. They could be trying to pay these spiritualists more money to give them protection. Okay, the dead are fighting against the enemy. The ancestors are coming back and speaking truth on this earth, saving us from what we've been trapped in, the illusion we've been trapped in. Okay, expansion, spiritual experiences. A lot of you guys will be going through ascension symptoms and having a lot of spiritual experiences. I know there was a post up talking about how the earth is changing, how the earth is heating up, and it's a lot of people who are going through ascension symptoms, and they're speaking of these ascension symptoms as if they're killing them, as if they're dying. Oh, my head hurts so bad it just won't stop. Oh, this and oh, that. I'm not saying ascension symptoms won't cause your head to hurt, but if you feel like you're dying, then you're not supposed to dwell and exist in this energy. All of us are not the same. People who teach, oh, one life and we're all the same down here and we're not. DNA matters. DNA is very important. And you may have to go look up the Anunnaki and look up how and when they created Homo sapiens and how they do this genetic engineering with bloodlines and stuff. It's a lot of people on this earth. I'ma just say we are not all one. Period, point blank. Okay. All right, and I'm not just talking about one specific skin color, because a lot of y'all can reincarnate in different bodies and different skin colors. All skin folk ain't kin folk. So no, I'm just not talking about all melanated people all together. When back in the day when the Anunnaki got here, everybody was the same color. The Anunnaki is black, pitch black. That is their skin complexion. Okay. All right, so back to what I was saying. It's a lot of research that y'all have to do, but this is how we're going to have this growth and expansion. Okay, this is how you're going to be able to tap into these spiritual experiences. But like I was saying, these people were talking about the ascension symptoms as if they were dying. They literally felt like they were dying. You're not going to be able to make it in this atmosphere. A lot of people are going to lose their lives. Okay, allegedly. A lot of people are going to not be able to survive. A lot of people are going to have to go underground. And there's a lot of people that are coming from underground. I did that in my last reading, okay? They want to keep your eyes distracted from the skies, but also they want to try to sneak you by what's coming from up underground, okay? Let's get to this. What's this underground? Cannibals? Underground cannibals? Let me split up these cards so I can get active. Look at this. NASA trying to reincarnate a pharaoh. Okay, something it's a lot. Okay, NASA trying to reincarnate a pharaoh, but I got also attacking your mucus glands. That's why they only plant masculine plants now, masculine trees and stuff, to send out all of that pollen, and you don't have anything combating that pollen, which fucks with your mucus glands, which causes a lot of people to have allergies now. A lot of people who didn't have allergies have them now. Something to be going on in Mount Whitney, California, with all of those trees. I'm trying to think of what tree it is. I think it's a pine tree, maybe, or cedar. Cedar trees or pine trees are the ones that are putting out a lot of pollen now, that's going to be messing with people's mucus. So it's going to be a lot more people having colds. You know, they say when you have the mucus glands that are irritated and agitated in your body, then diseases can attach themselves to that. Okay, so I heard diseases, parasites. There may be a lot of parasitic energies, or they're trying to pass a parasite through the pollen that's coming out of these trees. Okay, because they don't plant female trees anymore. To, you know, the masculine trees shoot out the pollen, the female trees take it in. Then we have more trees, we have more fruits, more vegetables. They try to keep the earth unbalanced, and the earth is going to balance itself back out. All right, we have NASA here with reincarnated pharaoh, and I did talk about the Anunnaki, and NASA is actually the National Anunnaki Subversion Agency. Okay, subversion meaning they want to sabotage. Okay, they've committed treason. They like to find all of the extraterrestrial artifacts, and they like to keep them for themselves so that they can do experiments. They can try to wield things on their own. Okay, NASA may have a Aztec or Mayan artifact that they're trying to get to work. They're using alien technology to get this to work, to try to start some sort of nerve chemical warfare, which will have poison and come from over time, and it may have to do with the trees and attacking your mucus glands, poisoning you over time. Okay, something could be going on in Topeka, Kansas. Some sort of abductions could be going on from NASA in Topeka, Kansas, allegedly. Okay, Kansas and Des Moines, Iowa. All right, in Iowa and also North Dakota. There is a scientist that's overseeing this. They're going to have 3 years in bad luck because some sort of water is going to flood that area. Flood the area. Why is the water going to flood? It's some sort of base, Navy base that they have, where they're doing this nerve chemical warfare, and something is going to flood it out. Some sort of water is going to flood it out. We may have Thailand being flooded out. Tanzania is also going to be flooded. A lot of these flooded places are where these extraterrestrial beings, these reptilians, they have these bases, these secret alien bases. Okay, Samoa, a lot of political involvement, some sort of political involvement is going to happen in Samoa. A satanic sacrifice. Maybe they were supposed to do a satanic sacrifice and they couldn't. Someone's jealous of your education. They don't want you to know about the nerve chemical warfare. They don't want you to know about the HERF guns, which are the direct energy weapons used to jam your electronics. So they don't want you learning anything new. A lot of y'all may have problems looking up the firmament, looking up certain things like that, because they're going to start using these HERF gun direct energy weapons to jam up your electronics so that you cannot pick up on these things. Okay, someone is using satellite phones in Texas. What are the satellite phones for? Using satellite phones for what? We got a Haitian practitioner who's involved in Texas using a satellite phone or communicating with someone on a satellite phone. About what? About some voodoo. About trying to motivate people to being more aggressive, starting war, being more lustful. Okay, putting people in more of a low vibration. They're being coached by someone on a satellite phone to do some sort of spell work to cause more lust and aggression and all of that in Texas. Allegedly, that could be why They talked about a lot of children disappearing. This could be alleged trafficking. I'm gonna keep saying allegedly because I'm not going to court. Give me something on this Haitian practitioner being coached by somebody on a satellite phone to start war. The floods were for agricultural. Basically, I'm getting, they flood out the lands that are, they flood out the land that is cheaper so that they can redo it and put different people on it. Growth, expansion. They're stealing land. They're stealing land. Terrestrial planet, they're stealing land. Insurance rates will rise. Look at these people on this water. So it's kind of like they drown you. Oh my God. Okay. They drown you out. Look at that sun. No rain. They send in these clouds. They seed clouds is what I'm hearing. And they try to drown people out, get them out of their homes so that they can take the land and rebuild themselves on that land. They're pushing people off their land. Lands that could have been owned in the past. Okay. Lands that could be owned by certain people. Certain races of people. Maybe remember I talked about when you get your 10 of Pentacles and they talk about that you're supposed to get land that was due to you from your ancestors, and drowning out ancestral lands. That's why the dead is fighting back to come and stop these people from trying to take over this planet, to rebuild this planet in their own liking. Okay, causing strife and discord. Whoever this Haitian practitioner is, causing strife and discord. I did hear that they use certain practitioners from the bush, quote quote, in order to do political magic. Okay, a lot of people who were in the presidency or prime minister positions got there from doing certain spiritual practices. Okay, someone's trying to do some hypno scams. They want to put you under a domination spell. That could be this spell down here, domination spell. Someone's coaching someone to do these domination spells to start more strife, discord, and lustful energies to keep you distracted. Okay, so that strife and discord is giving me you being drowned out in this karmic energy. You got away from your karmics. They're going through karma, but you constantly hear over and over about the karma that they're going through. They're constantly forcing that negative energy out so that readers can pick up on it. So that's all you hear is what's going on in the karmic world, and it makes you frustrated. It pisses you off because just like, I don't care about what they got going on. I want to hear about what's coming to me, but they don't want you to hear about what's coming towards you. So they keep trying to divert the signals that we get, okay, and make us just read on karmic shit all the time. Let's see what's going on. Ooh, okay, the card that went across the floor, it says the Ukraine. What's going on with them? I don't care. What's going on? What's going on with the Ukraine? Air demons. Air demons. Demons associated with winds and storms. There could be a storm brought in Tennessee. A storm coming that's going to happen in Tennessee. Okay, we may have martial law, home invasions in South Dakota because of a storm that's going to come through. So we're going to see a lot of storms being seeded in order to do this grab on this land. Like I said, these kings of the earth, they know they're losing, so they're working hard to get as much land as they can. Okay, a lot of home infestations going to happen in South Carolina. I kind of feel like when I see home infestations in South Carolina, it gives me like the locusts. The locusts in the Bible. That's the type of energy I get from that. Okay. Let's see what's going on. What else going on? So we basically got them trying to do a last money grab to take the land, and the ancestors are now here fighting back and speaking up against that because it is the year of Jubilee, and they were supposed to give this land back to us, give this land back to y'all, okay? And it's not happening. They don't want to come up off of your inheritance. They don't want to come up off your 10 of Pentacles, your money, your land, your wealth, okay? Your generational wealth is what I'm hearing. They want to focus on trying to procreate with beings from this earth, make half-bloods, so make half-bloods and demigods is what I'm hearing. So So they want to mix up this extraterrestrial blood. Like these extraterrestrials, a lot of them that came to this planet that are in the negative vibration, the reptiles and all of that stuff, their planet is fucked up. So they thought that they could come and take this planet over, and they're dying off. And in order for them to survive, they have to make half-bloods with the extraterrestrial blood and the human blood. And they've been doing this for a long time. That's why a lot of these people who are going through their ascension symptoms feel like they're dying. Because technically, this is not your planet, this is not your atmosphere, and you are, okay? An Olympian bloodline that they want to keep going. There's an Olympian bloodline that they want to keep going. They could be using harpies, okay, to abduct humans for torture, and take them to Mount Tartarus, or take them to a mountain that does have an alien base so that they can try to clone them, okay? Plato's capital, this is something that they were doing back with Atlantis. You should already know that the United States of America was Atlantis back in the day, okay? And Athens, they want to focus it like Athens, an ancient breeding facility in Athens, okay? Annihilation, they want to get rid of the actual star seeds and earth angels. That was the whole point, so that they can make these demigods and half people. Giants of Atlantis, talking about the Nephilim, okay? Somebody is trapped in purgatory. A lot of people, maybe these evil witches and wizards who are doing the magic for these reptilians, are being trapped in purgatory. Okay, I'm seeing something again about Big Ben and the bell tower, time travel. They're trying to travel back in time, but time is catching up with them. They're upset about that. Okay, they're starting to use cell phone and Wi-Fi weapons to cause difficulty breathing. So maybe that's another reason why they want you to stay in your homes, so that they can start pumping radiation and all those things through the devices that are in your homes. Okay, everyday devices is what I'm hearing. Heavy on the reverse year of Jubilee. They're trying to reverse the year of Jubilee so that they don't have to give us our land back. They don't have to get the fuck up off this planet, and they're going to do that anyway. And they're upset because their plans are backfiring. Okay, I'm hearing nothing new under the sun. All this chaos that they're trying to start right now, that's why they have to renege on stuff. Like you may hear a certain person in power, they may say, oh, we're going to stop this, or we're going to do this, and then it never really fully goes through. Not only because they can't because of the Supreme Court, but they can't because of the Galactic Federation. Okay, something can be going on in Senegal with a church. This preacher could be connected to Michigan. Somebody from the Anglican church is connected to satanic practices that are going on in Michigan. They're conjuring up shadow people. Okay, preparing for war with civilians. They're jealous of our heritage, and they want to take from us. All right, what else going on? I heard a lot of these bloodlines are dying off. That's why you have a lot of, damn, it said alien breeding program and dream babies, alien food, sex slaves. All right, so I was gonna say a lot of their bloodlines are dying off in Europe. A lot of bloodlines from Europe are dying off, and that's why they allow Africans now to come into their country so that they can mix together. Back in the 90s, they were allowing a lot, basically like they start war in these countries and run these people out of their countries into other countries, and then they allow the breeding. Okay, you know how you have somebody who will have a half-race baby with somebody else, but they're still prejudiced against this person that they had this baby with? That's just for survival. Okay, these people will now be suffering 10 years or more in poverty, and they will have no way out, a dead end. Whatever bloodlines are going to die off, they're just going to die off. Okay, they're trying to get rid of the past. These using esoteric abuse to burn books to cover their asses. Okay, rewrite the books. I heard all the world's a stage. That's why you have a lot of people who are trying to say that protesters are, you know, being. You have videos of protesters, people who are actually protesting calmly, showing you that the violent protests and the pictures that you see of hungry people holding bowls and plates and crying out, it's all acting. They want to rewrite the books. It's all acting. That's not really what's going on around this earth. And the more that we keep our eyes on it, the more we can stop them from doing what they're doing. All right, they're getting funding allegedly from the Trilateral Commission. A lot of these major banks are losing money. Okay. There will be some sort of flooding that's going to happen off the coast of California, and it's going to happen because they're using energetic weapons to disrupt the platonic plates, try to cause some sort of hurricanes or tsunamis. They usually do it off the coast of Africa to try to drown out Florida. Now they're going to do it to California. The Texas thing was a money grab. All right, the Holy See could have something to do with this, and that's the independent city-state of Rome. Is basically the authority of the Catholic Church. They could be doing this esoteric abuse, allegedly. Okay, someone from the Claremont Institute. I heard propaganda of a biological warfare. Maybe these are the people that's telling y'all to stay inside your homes. Don't go out and get in the sun. Go get in the sun, okay? Using DARPA electronic telepathy to transmit messages or waves to you to find out what you're thinking. There's a masculine from the Claremont Institute that's trying to start some sort, or trying to help with this biological warfare to try to transmit messages to your minds to know what you're thinking, so they know what kind of information to put out to get you to believe what they want you to believe. More sightings about quote Mothman, because they've been doing their rituals to try to figure out what's going to happen in this earth. Could be a lot more weird things happening in Virginia. The Virginia card did show up, but I didn't pull it out. With Mothman, I'm thinking about Virginia in these Appalachian mountains. There's a cryptid, the Mothman, in those mountains where they do their rituals at. I don't know what kind of building they have there, but it has something to do with that. Yeah, shit. Appalachian coal mines, the coal mines, the power grids. Okay, they could be trying to open up a portal. Open up a portal. That's what they're trying to do. Somebody wrote a book about that. H.P. Lovecraft. I think he wrote about somewhere close to Virginia. All right. We have some music plant industries coming out. Nothing on the back of there. Working with the kuka and the kuka or kuka. It is originated from a dragon. It eats children. It controls a swarm of moths. Okay, Mothman. It holds occult knowledge. Okay, so you can have some music industry plants who are trying to conjure the kuka. It's basically like the boogeyman. Okay, some alligator woman, a shapeshifter. She's very good with dark magic and telekinesis. Very smart, yellow eyes. Okay, so this bloodline of reptilian is inside of the music industry. Okay, to attract your children, to get your children to drink. Whoa, okay, to drink the golden, what do they call it? That golden whatever, but basically to get your children in a lustful energy, to keep them distracted. Okay, they could be possibly attacking your pulmonary arteries, trying to cause blood clots in the lungs, or maybe that's something that this golden juice that they call, maybe that's something that it happens. Okay, didn't I say to get these children in a lustful energy? They want to make these children, use these children for harvest. I did say dream babies. Okay, they could be trying to take children to different bases. Somebody's trying to do a grab on children once again. Subversion. Okay, the state of being overthrown after an attempt of undermining the government or political system. Okay, they're trying to basically grab up land and grab up a food source, because they're going to have to leave this planet. They're trying to do something to kidnap children. Extortion, taking children. Yeah, and it's about to head down the dark road with pedos and all kind of stuff like that. Give me something else. Okay, a lot of these ancestral beings are coming through a portal in Montgomery, Alabama. A lot of haunts and haints. Okay, something about the governor, allegedly, of Alabama. Could possibly be connected to someone in the Hermetic Order of the Red Dragon, allegedly. Okay. Your heritage. Somebody could be a part of a fraternity, Omega Psi Phi. Something's going on in Arkansas. I don't know if there's a college or something in Arkansas with Omega Psi Phi. You could have had a father energy that went there. Could be a part of your heritage. You could find out there's a father figure who has some sort of tie to the Omega Psi Phi, who's a part of your heritage, or it could be in the Heritage Foundation right now. Oh my gosh. Who's very envious of you because he couldn't get you for energy harvesting. Okay, Again, getting children in that sexual energy. This could be something that they're trying to do or something that they were doing, causing anyone who could have been actually abused in the past trouble sleeping, memory loss, okay, forget what they did to you, inability to concentrate, balance out your problems, have headaches, okay. This could be and I did see poison in the food, poisoning over time. So you could have had a group of masculines who could have been having illegitimate children in order for an energy harvest, okay. That could still be going on. A lot of people in these fraternities, I'm telling you, try to poison you over time to get rid of you. Didn't want you remembering what they were doing to you. All right, something has to do with the Jersey Devil. They called you a cursed child. They treated you as if though you were the Jersey Devil. Called your mama a witch. Okay, somebody could have been using ammonia in this poisoning. White sap poisoning as well. They could be a part of the Grand Lodge in DC. All right, someone has Diogenes syndrome or Diogen syndrome, which is hoarding that leads to dementia. They can be from Israel. Okay, this person could be doing some spell work to attack your thymus gland, your immune system. Maybe that's why they were putting poison in your food over time, to attack your immune system. What else? Yeah, that's why you were placed in this family of people attacking you on purpose. The prophet and pariah, you were a Masonic sacrifice. They used children for Masonic sacrifices. They used you as energy sources. They allowed other people to abuse you as well as they abused you, or they recorded your abuse and let other people watch it, masturbate off it. They used your power. You were like a power grid. Okay, now they're having a problem doing that. Okay, something could be going on in North Macedonia and in Denmark. Right. Also, there could be some mold, a toxin that people use from mold in Baton Rouge. Something could be really moldy in Baton Rouge. A dark kitchen witch could be from Baton Rouge, using a toxin that derived from mold as some sort of potion or something. Okay, there will be earthquakes. Something was caused by an eastern star. Give me someone this earthquake in an eastern star. A church cult working with eastern stars. Use the Necronomicon to try to raise the dead, raise a dead spirit, and they use the worship of the elder gods against these children. These eastern stars, there's like a group of women that could be like using children's skulls and bones, using the Necronomicon, dancing with the dead, and they have conjured some, or they were trying to conjure some sort of demon, but the earth is quaking because of it. They were using children for the adrenochrome drug, which is basically immortality serum that they get from the children's adrenal glands after they scare the shit out the kids. They use the kids, they scare the shit out the kids, and they take their blood and use that. It's better for them to be fearful when they receive their blood. This church cult is a vampire cult. They could be allegedly attached to the Skull and Bones group. Okay, they have federal friends. They could have been telling the feds on you. They're having hunting parties with their federal friends. Somebody could have ran up on a Wendigo during this hunting party. Alright, yeah, doing dark magic. These Eastern Star women doing dark magic with children's leftovers. I hate to even say it like that, but the leftovers of these children, what's ever left of these children. I did do in my last reading where I said something about them using children that are aborted in these rituals. Okay. Dark magic and the sacrifice of a child going on in Oklahoma City. A news anchor, a popular news anchor in Oklahoma City could have something to do with this, be a part of that group. Heavy on the time travel, trying to use women's wombs for time travel. Botanism, the difficulty breathing, death, paralysis. Women giving birth could have been having a hard time giving birth. in Oklahoma City for a little bit. Okay, Oklahoma City, isn't that a place where they also sent all of the Native American women? They could have been using them a while back for time travel. Okay, something else. Yeah, weaponizing the Holy Grail, using these women's wombs for time travel, and using their children for rituals. These fallen angels, they could have placed trackers under your skin, giving you some sort of shot. Something's going on in Michigan, in Massachusetts, in the mountains. A great healer, astrologer, an oracle. Something's happening. An oracle in that area. What's going on with the oracle in that area? They're doing magic. They're worshiping, again, these elder gods. The Cthulhu cult is in some sort of mountains in Massachusetts and Michigan, trying to conjure up an entity. Okay, they call themselves a great healer, an astrologer, a hidden political Nazi spy. Someone took you to the moon, took you to one of these alien bases as a child. Your name is ringing bells in jail. People are starting to be arrested. Or it could be, this jail could be purgatory, like I said. They could be using drones to watch you. The Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, some people from there could be using drones to watch you. They know that you know that they're opening up these portals and stargates. Okay, the Anunnaki attempts at time travel to get into the 5D are these stargates and portals that they're opening up around the world. Alright. I just looked at some, when they talked about the Hoover Dam, and that bridge right above it is a portal. They have a compass right below those two bird figures in front. Okay, something's going on in Austria with nursery trades and nursery trafficking. Again, trying to get a food source. These children, maybe to take it back underground. I did see shapeshifter. Yeah, shapeshifter, draconian shapeshifters. Working with pastors, priests, and prime ministers to get this food. These children. There are missing children coming from somewhere. Where are these missing children coming from? Where are these missing children coming from? Ooh. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we may have some missing children from Russia, allegedly. From Romania, allegedly. They're scaring these children, this vampire cult. Okay, also some children from the Republic of the Congo and Republic of Korea. Using these children's fear and their blood in rituals as X-points, portals, and time travels. Conjuring up these shapeshifters. Somebody could be from the sorority for women, the Zeta Phi Beta. She could be hosting dungeon parties with these children. Rosemary's Baby. Someone has a freaking... someone had the Jersey Devil. Okay? Alright, someone's doing... a skinwalker is doing witchcraft. Someone's doing gypsy magic. Using antifreeze poison. They're using different poisonings on these children. Something is hidden in the trees. Leprechauns. The mischief makers. Somebody could be conjuring the mischief makers. These leprechauns hidden in the trees. That's giving little green men. That's giving the grays. Okay, gray green. That's their color. Hidden in the trees, watching the drones. They're in their spaceships, watching from the woods, watching what's going on. They kidnap people to do experiments. Someone has something to do with the Hellfire Club, using infrasound weapons to cause intolerable sensations of vomiting and nausea, to get people in the hospital is what I heard. They have to use non-lethal weaponings to try to take out these starseeds. It's not working. Okay, heavy on the Mars again. Al-Amar. Mars is their star. Tuesday is their day of work. They're creatures of fire, blood, and war. They're cloaked in red with red glowing eyes. They're appeased with blood offerings. Okay. And they forge ancient swords that drink souls. These ancient swords that drink souls are the non-lethal weapons and the infrasonic weapons. They're learning from from extraterrestrials how to do this war against us without us knowing. A mayor could be involved in some sort of situation in Iowa. Leonard Lego can also be trying to cloak themselves and hide that they have something to do with this. All these college sororities, okay, and fraternities, Kappa Alpha Psi, are conjuring up these tornadoes. Something about tornadoes. Tornadoes are going to hit. Let's see. The south of Sudan, in South Africa, in Somalia. Someone could be using MIT acoustic petrodiming, sending signals to 2 points of their brain so that they think that they're hearing God, but it's actually a devil, it's a demon. This could be saying that in Somalia and the south of Sudan and in South Africa, allegedly, they are working on Wi-Fi. They're working on getting Siri and all those other computing demons there, okay? I know I talked about a long time ago when you think of the big data demon Bilal. He is the big data demon, and they create all of these lower vibrational well, not lower vibrational, but lower ranking demons like Siri and Gemini and all of these people for you to ask, like Chat GPT or whatever the fuck it is, all of these questions, because these are entities that are part of the big data demon who are learning, you guys, learning. And in order for you to beat someone, you have to learn them. Y'all need to stop talking to them fucking computers. Ain't nothing in this world that you need to know that you don't already know that damn thing can tell you. Stop talking to them. They're demons. They're not of this earth. You're teaching baby demons how to defeat the human race by speaking to them, okay? Anything else? Something can be going on in Maryland. The 2030 anti-human agenda. They could be having a meeting in Maryland. In Poland, they could be trying to reincarnate a queen energy. Okay, these Order of Caronia. So there is some homosexual cult in Poland that is trying to reincarnate a queen. And I feel like this queen is a demon that is a male but looks like a feminine. I can't think of their name right now. But they're trying to conjure that entity in Poland, or they have conjured that entity already. Dang, I'm trying to think of the name, and I don't want to take too long. Let me pause, y'all. I'll get it and I'll insert it. Okay, an earth demon, a watcher. Yeah, I'll insert who that entity is right here. 48 minutes. Okay. Anything else? A lot of stuff going on around the world of these people trying to conjure these demons, but it's not working. It's not gonna work. That's why they're trying to do esoteric abuse, burn books to clear them of something, clear them of their sins. Anything else I need to say? The pale white horse of death, to cause death and famine because they're greedy, but they're defeated. They owe entities, and these entities are coming for them. They're trying to plead their case with the wombs of women and their children. Trying to give sacrifices. It's not going to work. The sun is still going to shine. I'm getting from the sun, the black sun. Okay? You can also do research on the black sun. Yeah, Hermit, and then the sun, the black sun definitely is going to end up taking these bloodlines and energies out. Okay, meanwhile, some of us who are going to be able to be energized by the black sun are going to be able to stand our ground on this planet and live happily ever after, period. Yeah, a lot of women are keeping pregnancies hidden because they're targeted. A lot of, I know I said a lot of melanated women where it's a high mortality rate when these melanated women give birth. A lot of them will be able to give birth now. They're keeping it secret. A lot of cryptic pregnancies are going on around here in order to birth the new generation. Cryptic pregnancies in the new generation. Okay, these are going to be masculine energies. who are going to be able to work together with the feminine energies. Okay? Calling judgment, Queen of Swords, the divine feminine, divine masculine working together. These hoes, an ending is coming to these hoes. Queen of Wands energies are not hoes, but in this instance, they are the whores of Babylon. They are these witchy women who were distracting the masculines, these karmic feminine energies. They will be sacrificed, and the divine feminine will be able to reproduce and reign. Okay, they're going to miss their opportunity to keep stealing these spirit babies and sacrifice people. They're going to miss their opportunities to try to sway the minds of the masses. All right, things are going to change, and the divine users are going to be successful in this situation. These love spells have ended, and the truth is out. These Queen of Cups energies, okay, these fake intuitive feminines from the past, they're looked at as nothing but Page of Cups, and they will be overlooked. Okay, divine masculines are walking away from these feminine energies and heading towards their generational wealth with their Empress energy, their divine feminine. A lot of people are jealous about that. The whole point was to keep the divine partners apart, and now these karmic partners have no choice but to be binded to each other. They have no choice but to watch and hate and be mad and have to give whatever sacrifice they said they was going to give, whether it's a divine child or a divine being. They have to give themselves in place of that sacrifice now. Meanwhile, everybody else, okay, the divine energies or the true bloodlines, we're able to celebrate on this earth and balance everything out. Okay, the Holy Spirits are giving us an opportunity to set things straight, or our wealth and everything that we were supposed to get, we will get that now. Nobody can take it away from us. Okay, I think this is it, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and close it down. We'll get into another one, so meet me in the next one.